Trust takes ages to build and it can be gone in a second. But the most important thing is that they've come to us before they've come to anybody else. This is why I spend so much time writing content on LinkedIn and Instagram for free. They need all the help they can get in order to grow and scale their business. We always say, I would rather 10 amazing clients that come back to us every month or every 6 months for work than me having to find 10 new clients every single month. You have to be the best known so that those people do come to you when they need your product, your service, your business. And the only way that you're able to do that is to continue putting out content so that those people do come to you. This is something that I've realized, and it sucks for small businesses. Welcome to Top of Mind. This is the very first episode and it feels very surreal. It's a project that I wanted to get off the ground in 2023 but didn't have the capacity, resource or energy to start it, but now I do. Starting a podcast was never the plan. When I started my business 3 years ago, Gambit Collective, which is a pay-as-you-go marketing agency, the plan and the mission has and always will be to make marketing, social media, and personal branding expertise available to everybody. Our pay-as-you-go marketing agency model helps us to work with small startups all the way to big organizations and corporate businesses. We've run hundreds of personal branding workshops over the last 3 years. We've helped people utilize social media to connect with their audience and to grow a brand or a business that once started as a single idea. While our flexible solutions can help so many businesses get access to this area of expertise that perhaps they haven't had access to before, one barrier that keeps coming up for us is that there are some businesses that just simply don't have that available cash flow ready to invest in a business or a brand to help them with their marketing, social media, or personal branding. So regardless of how flexible we make it for them, if they have zero cash to invest, they have no help. They have nowhere to start, and they can't get the access to that expertise that they desperately need in order to get more cash flow into the business. This is something that I've realized, and it sucks for small businesses because they need all the help they can get in order to grow and scale their business, to be able to generate enough cash flow so that they can get to a point where they are outsourcing the help that they need. This is why I spend so much time writing content on LinkedIn and Instagram for free to help these businesses and individuals with the knowledge and experience and expertise that perhaps they can't get access to. Across LinkedIn and Instagram, I provide this content for free. And Top of Mind, this podcast is an extension of that. Whether you're a business leader or brand owner that's wanting to unlock growth in the industry, or perhaps you work in the industry and you want to learn more, consider this podcast your opportunity to pick the brains of some of Australia's biggest brands and experts in their field on how they've done it, how they've utilized marketing, personal branding, and social media to scale their business. What can you expect on Top of Mind? There'll be a combination of episodes. So there will be shorter style episodes which will unpack or answer any of the questions that you might have about marketing, social media, and personal branding, as well as longer form interviews where I get the opportunity to pick the brains of some of the best brands, content creators, and marketers in Australia and ask them about how they've leveraged marketing, social media, and personal branding to grow and scale their business. This podcast is designed for business founders or leaders that are wanting to unlock growth in their business via marketing, social media, or personal branding. But it's also designed for those that are in the industry and they're wanting to learn how some of the people that have succeeded in this space have done it and what they've achieved to get there. This podcast is designed to help you better understand marketing, social media, and personal branding, and most importantly, giving you the tips and pieces of advice to help you stay top of mind. If you have a question for myself or a business or brand in the space, please DM us, send us an email or a voice note, because we want to answer your questions. The whole premise of this podcast is to help you better understand marketing, social media, and personal branding better, to help you stay top of mind for free. One of the things that I like to talk about or run through with my clients when they ask me, why is staying top of mind important, is if you look around the room now and you can identify everything that is red, everything that is the color red, you take it all in, you're like, okay, that's red, that's red. And I get you to shut your eyes. When you shut your eyes and I ask you to list all of the things that were green, you really struggle, right? So I think for me, staying top of mind isn't about how much a brand spends. It's not about, how shiny the logo is or anything like that. It's a combination, and the marketing term for top of mind awareness comes from the combination of brand experience, so how someone interacts with your brand recall, so whether someone can actually remember your brand when they say, hey, I'm looking for a new computer or a new phone, the first brand that they think of for me is Apple. And then also brand recognition. So whether someone can recognize your brand in a sea of others, can they visually identify it? Can they remember it? And have they had the experience with it? And they're the three elements of brand awareness and top of mind awareness. But put simply, I think there's three reasons why staying top of mind is so important. The first one is that you're able to develop trust quicker. Staying top of mind for me as a brand, a prime example is almost every month I get a new business phone call where someone's been following our content or engaging with our content, whether that's on LinkedIn or Instagram. And some of them will say, I'm not sure what you do, but I know that you can help us. Some of them will say, I know what you do and I know you can help us. But the most important thing is that they've come to us before they've come to anybody else. And the reason for that is because they trust that the content that we're putting out every single day, we're talking about the stuff that we're actually doing. And therefore, when they need the stuff that we're actually doing, they reach out to us because there's no one else in their mind that is doing that because they're not talking about it. So the ability to build trust from a brand recognition point of view, trust takes ages to build. And it can be gone in a second. But, there was a stat, something like 82% of people, when they are looking for a recommendation or something like that, they trust online search more than anything else. Which means that if you give me a restaurant recommendation and I go, okay, cool, I go and look it up on Instagram, which means I trust Instagram more than I trust somebody that I've spoken to about it. So trust is so important, and staying top of mind helps to generate that trust that you actually know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, and you say what you do in your business or service or brand. The second reason why top of mind awareness is so important is because you're able to kind of inch out your competitors. If I'm a business and I'm generating content every single day or every single week, and I'm generating that content and I'm putting it out there and I'm saying, this is what we're doing, this is what we're working on. And then there's a business that does the exact same thing that doesn't talk about it. The person that's going to get the most leads is the business that's talking about it. Because no one's going to create your story for you unless you create your own. So being able to inch ahead of your competition by staying top of mind is super important. And I think the last one is that repeat customer. Staying top of mind allows you to continue the cycle of customers buying from you. If you have that trust, if you have that recognition, if you have that brand recall, you're able to nurture the customers and clients that you already have, as opposed to continually trying to seek out new customers. We always say, I would rather 10 amazing clients that come back to us every month or every 6 months for work than me having to find 10 new clients every single month. Because that process to get a customer to convert is so much harder when they haven't heard of you or they don't know about you or they haven't interacted with you. So being able to gain those repeat customers over a life cycle is so much more valuable than trying to acquire new customers. And so for me at the moment, one of the things that I'm saying all the time is it's not enough to be the best in what you do. You have to be the best known. And the only way that you're able to do that is to continue putting out content and creating content and talking about what you do to stay top of mind, so that those people do come to you when they need your product, your service, your business. One last thing from me, if you enjoyed this episode, I would love if you could leave us a review or hit the subscribe button wherever you are listening or watching this podcast.